first exercise for Bourree in Book 2, Handel Bourree, is measure 10. The notes are important first, so we're going to play a G natural. You're going to get your B in tune, and then you'll play open E. Okay, so again, G, fourth finger in tune, and then E. The rhythm is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. The trick might not be in your left hand, it might be in your right hand. So we have to do a quick down bow, and then 2 beats for the B, 1 beat for the E in the up bow. So it's a fast bow and then a slow bow for 3 beats. The next excerpt takes place in measure 11. This one is preparing your D sharp, high 3 on A, and your pinky comes next, right next door in that half step. It's touching, or close to touching. We want to make sure our tips of our fingers are close together, but not the knuckles between the fingers. We want to have space so that we can get really great pitch when we get way up at the top. So make sure that you're spreading your knuckles, but close proximity for your fingertips. Here's D sharp, fourth finger E. Notice the ring. Here's F sharp, G, A. And notice that rhythm. Then it's an issue for the bow. So we have to save bow for 2 notes. And then we have to save bow for all 3 notes, but that's just 2 beats, the same as the down bow. So we want to get in 3 notes in the same speed of bow as we did on the down bow. So we want to make sure that happens again. Half of the bow for the first note, the rest of the bow for the last 2 eighth notes. So I'll do it all the way through. When we put those 2 together, you're going to have that fast down bow, then slur. Okay, and I'll do it this way one more time. I'll do that again. The other slur that's important is also 3 beats. It's in measure 4 and also in measure 20. You're going to have 3 beats in the bow, but you are going to cross strings from the first finger B to a half note G, third finger on the D string. So first finger on the A string, third finger on the D string. So we want to make sure a bow is slow enough to do 3 beats on a down bow. So again, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The important thing about the note before 13 through measure 16 is the bowing direction. So there are hooked bows in this part. The phrase gets cut and then restarts and then gets cut and restarts. You'll hear it. I'm going to do it with major stops. The first note that I said was the note before 13. That is an up bow. Start in the middle of your bow, not a big bow, probably a quarter. Stop in the middle. Here's the split. We go to another C, but up bow, hook. Here we have a third finger D hooked, So again, with stops, this is how it goes. Hook, hook. All right, and as it comes together, it's not as much of a weight. So again. In Bourree, we are also using the fourth fingers as marked. There are some that maybe have an alternative. You can choose fourth finger or open string, but generally we're going to use all of those that have a 4 above it. So as in measure 15, we're going to do 2-note slurs, 2 notes separate, 2 notes slur, 2 notes separate, 2 notes slur, 2 notes, 3 notes separate. And in that, you're going to use your fourth finger at the end. So it sounds like this. Making sure that that fourth finger is used for on the D string for A. Here it is this way. In the first section, you have a D major scale, which is starting on open A. It sounds like this. That's the D major scale. What makes it D major is the C sharp on the A string. In the second half, near the end, you have at 21, you have a G scale, G major scale. What's the difference? C naturals. And notice, while I'm playing this last scale, or even the other scale, where are my fourth fingers? So I'll play that last scale one more time, measure 21 with the note before. So in that last measure, you're going to do a B down. You're going to get your bow and finger together, that fourth finger on the D string, and slur 2. Bourree is all about how we use the bow. You will notice that sometimes we use half a bow, sometimes we use a whole bow. Sometimes we'll go for a quick speed bow, sometimes we'll go for a slow, and that will increase our use of crescendo and decrescendo. So pay attention to how you're using your bow. Start this piece in the middle with an up bow. This is one of the up bow songs in Book 2. And we're using less bow as we decrescendo. Pay attention to those in the music, those parts.